Hello, hello, hello. Let's do the chat. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Just say hello in the chat if you are here. Love to hear from you. Let's give a few seconds for more people to join. I'm trying to stay consistent with the things, making more session, but like, I have a lot of things popping up left and right. I'm trying to, yeah, keep catching up to it. Say hello if you're watching. Say hello. So love to hear from you. So love to know who all are watching. Hello, Sami. How are you? While waiting, I'm quickly gonna send the message to all the people who. If it's, I hope there are more people. But like with a few people, it's not motivating because there are not enough people in every stream. I was hoping to have more people. It's hello, Farhan. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Awesome. So, what I was going to do, I was going to shoot a message to everyone. So, just let me know that you receive it. Yes, that's wonderful, Farhan. You have completed the textures. You just post the work in progress. I will try to do the Wednesday session, little bit feedback, and if it's not the Friday, definitely we're gonna do the feedback session. So we'll go look over it on there. In the meanwhile, you can put work in progress and keep working on the things from your side, and we'll look on those. Look at those. Okay. Just give me a second. Awesome. Where did it go? Uh, which thing? Hello, Milan. How are you? Which thing? The message I'm sending through the top mate, because the people are still joining and there we don't have enough, so I'm just sending it here because people are there on the Discord. I don't know. Maybe in the announcement, maybe people just left after joining while they were waiting because we did not start instantly. So I'm just sending message from the top mate. So you must receive it now. I sent it just now. So I also signed up, so I also received the email. So I'm sure that it is reaching to emails. So if someone have unsubscribed or blocked for some reason, then it might not reach to them basically. See if I just share again. So we start with the things. Mm, Just let me fire up the Unreal. Yeah, sure, sure. Sometimes it takes time, like it will take an hour or two sometimes. So it takes time. So if it reach, then wonderful. And we will confirm maybe in the next session that it arrived to, I'm planning to send it every week until everybody get irritates and we have enough people. We have enough people, but not enough people are joining and posting, which is kind of little disheartening. But we'll see. Again, I'm saying it every time. The more people will join, the more motivated I will be to do the sessions. Otherwise, it's not worth the time. For few people, I can give feedback in the chat, and we can join our personal call. I really appreciate you guys joining in every time. But we need more. Mm, real. Okay. Now it's firing up. So here you see our submit page. Okay. So you see it's like 416 sales are there. So I can send message to all of them. Okay. So I send now. So I'll plan to send every week. Maybe I will send on Friday, maybe on Sunday, so people read it on weekend. Maybe I will do that. So these all the people I uh, basically need to reach out. But it's overall it's wonderful. It's not a issue overall. Okay, so yeah, so I send the message, so it will come in there. So while starting with the things, I wanted to talk about Witcher 4, which recently released. They released a gameplay demo type of thing, which I wanted to talk about, kind of make artist review type of thing as an environment artist, looking look at it as an environment artist. And many people have asked me before also, if you can review it. So I thought, like, I have watched it once, and so I wanted to do it. So it's kind of became a review video. Okay, so we'll just watch it together. It's tiny one. We'll talk a little bit, and then we can warm up.
Sleep is he? The ploughing plonker. Break me pearlies on this blasted
So there is the one recently I was reviewing a portfolio. Basically, they have basically night scene is too dark. Like we can see this as a example that like night scene no need to be fully dark, but basically have some detail in the corner. So that is really
pit-ridden tract.
good to study from it. And one thing which is really funny at the bottom, if this can hide, so it says technical presentation, not actual gameplay, right? Which some people pointing out in Unreal version, which is on Unreal's channel, it was not written there. So this is on CD Project's channel. So that's
With fear not Cairo. Aye, the devil's after It's running from.
so that's this here is okay. Just even you see there will be some light, some ambient light will be there around everything. Okay.
Salt.
Wonderful. Like to get this story wise, we say these things like camera shift and animation, but I will look at it as more singular thing. And there's another channel called Adam Buff Lucid Pixel. Is a really great concept artist. He also have a channel, and he talk about this philosophical thing, and some of the things I'm doing also inspired from him as well. So he pointed this out really well in his channel about this light contrast. It did not occur to me before that much when he started pointing out that whenever they try to showcase CG, it will be like either there will be contrast of light, basically either the character is fully lit and the background is dark or shadowy, and sometime it is the character is in shadow but the background will be lit. I will showcase it, and as it is progressing you will see, start to notice this as well. And and the very the first time when they show the landscape and everything, the one thing I really loved about this, they kept it fantasy, not like super realistic with mega scan and everything. They kept that the stylization of the game in there, which I really appreciate. Like the same as the God of War have its own stylization, which they have kept in here. So this is wonderful how they kept it. And this one thing I also noticed, which we'll talk about later on. So let's just quickly move to. So yeah,
This
so
is a
this
technological show.
one thing here, which I also noticed, like you see the there is red mountains. Basically, there you will see there are patch hint of red with the blue haze in the middle, and then there's green forest. So basically, they have this harmony of color, basically blending between these colors is awesome.
Is set in the world of The Witcher running on a
And now you
standard
see that shadow
PlayStation
thing. There is
5 at
shadow, and the
60
character is
FPS
lit,
with ray tracing.
right? Now the character will
So in
go
the game,
into
you'll be playing as Ciri,
see the
a
light is still on
professional
the
monster
character.
slayer,
So now
the
the
Witcher.
character is in shadow, but the
She explores
background
the world
is
and
lit
hunts down
now,
monsters for coin.
which is again that this is a good way of making the leading eye. So basically,
So
you
in the
know there is a
game, you'll
light
be
and there is
playing as
path. You
Ciri,
can go
a
the path
professional
in there.
monster slayer,
Like we
the
have to
Witcher.
go this way,
She
basically,
explores the world and
uh,
hunts down
in the
monsters for
linear.
coin.
Yeah, so this type of composition also, like if it's Uncharted or those type of Uncharted or Last of Us, they make some point high up to make a interesting point of location to walk toward, or always have a sense of direction, basically.
The region we are in is called Kovir, and you'll get to explore it in a game.
And also,
Here,
like
she
these type
explores
of
the world and a professional
tiny
monster slayer,
caves
the
are
Witcher.
used for level
She
streaming,
explores the world
basically
and hunts
switching
down
between the
monsters for
levels
coin.
also. So if this is
The
used for
region we
that
are
also,
in
it's
is called
wonderful. I don't know
Kovir,
if this will be in the
and
game
you'll get to
because
explore it in a game.
not a actual game.
Right now, Ciri's
And
investigating the monsters,
this
and after
one
gathering new clues, she is
is
heading back
gonna
to
be
nearby
top notch.
village.
Will be awesome than anything. And I don't know, like if they will be able to hit this type of fidelity,
All right,
like see the
everyone,
sword
quit
and
copying.
everything. I don't know if they have done the rendering thing where sword is not intersecting with cloth, but the simulation and everything, the animation, everything is wonderful. And the same thing
Let weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
cinematic.
So just like Geralt at Roach, Ciri
Yeah,
has
they
her
show
own loyal
this
companion.
technical demo of the horse also. Like the amount of details they have
Return to
added
town.
is awesome. But if we talk about again this space in general as an environment artist, we have some space. So if we have a combat games, like imagine this will be there will be combat in this game also. So what they do, you cannot have forest everywhere, so you need to make some space. So this is a really good example of making that space for boss fight or character fight or simple combat or exploration, right? And then you have the cluster of forest. And this there is another thing which we followed like a thumb rule in there, like you have larger shapes, and then you have plants and growth clubbed together, larger shapes and then smaller shape and then smaller shape, like the gradual shift is there basically.
These two
So
characters
overall
almost
they
look
are
like one.
that camera shift is awesome. You see like here, like there's rock and the surrounding there are some plants and other things, which again
Gonna explore the world on
I love
horseback,
the
riding horses feels
all the
seamless
things
and
they
natural.
have done in here. So now they're gonna talk about the horse, I believe. So yeah, so that will skip it.
Kovir with its dense
And now
forest
this
wild
one I
nature.
really want to try because as a vegetation artist, this is crazy. The amount of density, I'm still skeptical. Like if this is truly like with that amount of polygon, although it makes sense with the voxelization that it might work, but you see, I can see at the distance also those tiny things. I don't know what and how this is holding up. As much they're saying it's voxelization, like it will keep becoming bigger, right? And but like the amount of polygons is crazy. Like these are moss is also a mesh on top of the stumps, and the animation I think is baked animation. I don't know if it's live. I'm sure it can be. It could be vertex animation, and which is just wiggling the branches and the leaves. And are the tiny leaves are moving or it does seem like, because from a see this voxelization from a distance it's visible. Maybe because this from distance this will seem fine also, but I need to see it in the action. There's a smoke, but this is crazy. There's a whole lot of trees are moving like that,
Revision to life.
but I want to see if I want to see if
And in order to achieve
so here, if once they enter here, they increase the
everything
wind
we
to
do in
showcase
Unreal
that.
has that
I
same
want to see,
spirit
like,
of freedom,
mostly I can
which is all
feel the
about freedom.
branches are
And
wiggling
foliage is a
basically like that.
huge piece of that puzzle. So we
They're
are
not
excited
bending.
to introduce nanite
Some,
foliage. Is
so
a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to
see here
introduce
is
nanite
flickered
foliage
here,
is a
something here,
huge piece of
here.
that puzzle. So we are excited to
See,
introduce
so something
nanite
it
foliage.
flickered. So it's okay, but I feel
And
less
in
it's
order to
not
achieve
bending, it's just
gorgeous
wiggling the
foliage
branches.
density
Like, so all
everywhere
these
while
branches are
still being
separate,
memory efficient, fast to
and
render,
pivot
we
painter,
believe
if you
in a
know, so
new
it's you're
idea was
doing
needed.
animation using
So
that.
instead of the same
Oh, there's a bear.
card approach we've been using for the past
That's
20 years,
and
we needed.
also
So still being memory
someone pointed out, like, they are saying look at the trees, and then you look at water, it look like oil.
in order to
So
achieve gorgeous
that
foliage
was also a
density
true
everywhere
assumption,
while
like
still
this look
being memory efficient, fast to render,
weird
we believe that a
compared to the
new
amount of
idea
details
was
we have
needed.
in the tree.
So
So
instead of the
this,
same card approach we've been using for
but yeah, so this is
Scrooge
good.
and our their vision.
Love
Yard with
to try my
better
hands
effect
on
more
this
quickly for this
and
during.
see how it works. But it is also hard, like, because this is like the only pipeline will work only in Unreal. Then we will how we will translate it to other places. For VFX is fine because mesh can be proxy and then the render it. But about other engines, so that's going totally on the other side. Again, the redness, that color, and the stylization, love it. Clear path distinction with a different color set, so you know
Welcome to
where you want to
Valkyries.
go.
So it's one of those places where our Tsui took on her current contract for the marketplace and food.
And it's overall, like, here also, like, we don't have
I'm
too much
so
to
excited we can finally show
talk
you
about.
some of
But
this stuff.
one thing I love, like, see here also, so you have red, blue as a hint in the buildings and the colors, right? And overall in the landscape and in the environment also, we saw that same thing. The red blue kind of tint was there,
Let's see what
even in the pots and everything. So this is a kind of, as atmosphere supports it, they have put this color. Even the flags you see have like cyan and red
Valkyries has to offer.
in there, which is, I don't know, as they say, like, all the NPCs and everything is reactive. So we'll see, like, if those are simulated also, or they are also autonomous, and everyone reacts. Similar thing, the tone,
Guys, notice
like
how
you attack
responsive the
this
world is.
apple fall down, and then the kid
Character actions
went
directly
for the
affect what
apples. That's,
happens around
they are
you,
saying it's
sometimes even setting off chain reactions.
autonomous. Like, these
Everything
pigs
fits
also went
together.
for the apples, basically. See, that color theme is still there, like the red and blue.
Oh, look at
This was crazy also if this
gentleman
happens
being taught how to fluff
in the
trained
system.
innkeeper. That's what happened.
You'll see this thing. It's still true. Like, as Adam of, like, so you see uh, the
Happens around
series
you.
highlighted,
Some
right? You see there is a shadow behind, but the silhouette of the character is fully
how to
visible,
fly by
right? But now when the series will walk into the shade, but the background is lit. So basically, all the time, that thing is true. Like, it was intentional, maybe it was not, but that was a really good
okay. So
point
this is the
to
guy
make.
who gave the series
As
questions
the
on.
character also have the
Like you
same
probably
color, so maybe it
suspect.
is the theme of the town.
They'll not re-
But there's nothing much in there.
While
No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of
But I
crates.
believe the every all the objects and everything also have geometry. They did not talk about it, but surely, like, if they're using other things having so much geometry. And also this pipeline is discussed in Unreal Engine 5 demo as well, where they
serious
have
as you might
geometry
feel
and
about that
vertex color,
merchant,
right? And then you use tileable texture with vertex color, because you already have geometry. You don't need a normal map. It saves a lot of memory. We just need the tileable texture, the details in there, like these damages and everything. You don't need. You can use geometry basically. Maybe decimated version of it is still fine, but still, if you have geometry, you can just use the vertex color to add grunge, dirt, and damage
let's take a look at the character
tileable
work
textures.
knowledge.
Even the even the color in the buildings,
While
like, you
serious
see, like, I
aside what to
really
do about that
love
merchant, let's
love
take a look.
this here. So you see, it have green tint, red tint, blue tint. Maybe they are using different mask, but it's not that useful. But what we did in the previous workflows, what we have different range basically from, imagine you use alpha color to drive the color in the building. So like zero to, you just put certain like 0 to 1. Point one is green, point one to point two is red, point two is cyan. Like that, you can have many number of thing, and it just create the mask based on that
Architect
range,
mentored
color range,
technology that powers this marketplace.
basically the value
Why don't we
range
listen in
basically
on these
of
fishmongers?
alpha.
They're selling their wares
And the
to happy
same thing they are
customers.
trying to showcasing. What is that?
Why don't we listen in on these
Just look at the
fishmongers? They're
side here.
selling their
Something
wares,
happened.
chatting up customers.
Something happened. Good. So yeah, so this is they saying like it's reactive and everything. Oh, look at that, the color. It's not just the blending; it have some detail.
And there is
So
tons of tech to play with
decals
here. Even a
will be
simple
too
art
much.
install. Metahuman
But if it's like
tools,
fully
smooth
geometry
unreal
with
smart
vertex
objects,
paint,
chaos cloth,
that
and
is
more.
so crazy.
Yeah,
Like that
and
is
all
stretchy,
of this
but it's
exists to
okay.
make sure that the gap in quality between Siri and
Those seem
NPCs
like
is as small as possible.
Yeah,
so
and
many.
closing that gap is in the world.
So yes, this one also like
Let's
they
grab
say
the
like
ones
it
that
will
actually make
change, the
sense.
center will
Go.
change based on the timing and everything, which is
So
wonderful.
you are seeing tons of
Environment
optimizations,
definitely is detail.
optimizations
I
here
still
to
love it,
many of Unreal systems. Bring us to
and
cities
more we will
with
know
our
about the
60
pipeline
FPS
as they
budget,
will do the
not just in
demos and
rendering,
everything.
but also with room to spare
But
on the gaming
definitely,
PC. Over
we can try that
350
demo. Like if you were like
skeletal
know
mesh agents, all like you,
how
interviewed to
these
make your worlds
hyperly and
come to
vertex
life
workflow
without the
is
3D.
done, we can do it. We have
I'm
our
making
church
this
and we
game
can
to be the most
do it there.
immersive and ambitious open
But
world
yeah,
Witcher game ever. And we are
same.
making this a
It's super
reality thanks
detailed.
to our work on
If
Unafraid to bring in any accomplished so far.
they should
We are
definitely take their time to deliver this thing, because
so we're almost
it's
done, but
okay if they
before we
delay,
go,
because
here's
a
a
big
small
project,
gift for all Witcher fans.
we need a lot of details. On the
Little
grass I
gift
saw
for
like
all
this
Witcher
thing,
fans.
it's animating is, I think, deformation.
A first look at
But
Lanexia.
tree branches I think are wiggling, don't have deformation. Nice, nice composition shade. It have clear space, breathing space, and you know, leading eye, and the music.
Onward,
Yeah,
Kelpie.
yeah, it's, I really loved it. Like I will confess that I haven't played Witcher that much, only Witcher 3 a little. It's a big game. I just started, I played for a while, for a few hours, and that's it. I mean, I said the most interesting thing about the Witcher is the storyline. Yeah, overall, like I said, as a RPG also, it's wonderful. It's a great story in there. So not just story, like the combat and everything else, everybody also enjoyed. So let's get back to our scene. So I will just save it as guys 8. So we'll one a little while more. So if you guys have question, so you can ask about workflows, or if you have stuck somewhere, you can ask. Okay, so let me here. So we have here now. So are you guys still here? So we added this grass last time, which again we have same thing. We can decrease the density if it's there. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yes, Samo, we will look at it at the, if you're stuck, then just work on there. Like if you're stuck, then we can look at it. Otherwise, I would say suggest just go with the things. Okay, so now I will try to cover up this quickly. as we needed to with last time. We just spent the whole time in there. Like I won't explain the tool and everything. We can have a separate sessions for the tools and everything else. Okay. And uh, um, okay. So we have this as the main, and as you know, we have this, and the trees could go up on the mountains, and the mountains are big enough for everything else. And I have so many in there. So basically, like you see, this is almost the look and feel we can go for, and we can set dress in there. And might be my mountains are small, not big enough, right? And this is a lake at the end of this we can have if we want to, but I try to keep it. And if we let me get back to our main concept here, and the grasses we have here. And here, if you want to decrease the density, so I think it's on the foliage type. Yeah, so if we have, I think we replace the thing in there. So we just, and this is the grass. Also, we have here. Okay, so I will just make it smaller. And we have here, as you see, the grass density. So I can just simply first put, so this is a different type of density. So this is a different, so we can keep it because this could be the large one, the large thing. So let me just totally make it 10 times less, right? So we have, and then the second thing is like this distance, basically like start culling distance and end culling distance. It's ending and start there and there, so which we can increase also like with this. um, and I can basically make it, yeah, so the distant one, and we can increase the distant to bit more, so it is bit more gradual. Yeah, I can do, and it's right now is looking odd because it's not matching the base, in the which we can definitely match now. Still, I don't think this have a gradual thing, so this will, and the last one we can increase. It already have a large distance, and this one we can increase also. This is the okay. This is not the first one. Even you can make it fully also to the distance also, and if you're crazy enough, but they're gonna put a lot of load on the system, honestly. So we have it here, and now if we want to change the color is simply, we know here on the texture we only have one, so we can try matching it with the ground, or we can simply replace the base texture as well. And And if we feel if it's a different shade, what is the highest value? 360. So we will make it, okay. So like it's somewhat matching, so we can match it like that, right? Okay, so now it's matching in the base, but surely we can increase the distance and everything when we render, but we don't need to. Okay, so that's for the grass, and let's just move on with the tree. And you said the asset or is Sambo, what it is like is I saw you sent in the garage. Is it it's tiny, but what it have inside? Just give me a second. But all of these blockouts, like what do you have doubt about this, Sambo? You send me blockout mesh. I asked for the blockout of the scene. Like I don't know, like what assets, like what is your doubt about the assets? It was about I asked to the scene, like if it have you have doubts, you can take the scene, but let me know what exactly your doubt is second. Okay, so we have our speed tree, and we have our PRF here. So now, so we'll make a uh, generic trees. Okay, so you can create new, and then you have this broadleaf, which can work for us. As this thing, imagine I can say, okay, this could be the largest one as well if we want to. And but this is not spread. Like if I take this one as the largest, this do not have that much spread. So I'll just take the branches and just make them a bit smaller. Okay, so I feel the shape is good enough, and you see there is they have made this shape for the shape of the crown. It's actually a weird one. Trunk do not taper while going up, which I want to just do it now. Okay, so we can say, okay, this is the largest one. So I can make it in the trees, and is this chestnut? Okay. And then same tree, chestnut one. Okay. So similarly, we can simply just quickly can make the scale of things down, and then save it as and export it simply for the quick thing, or we can overall scale it as well. So like if we feel like, okay, we can make some changes, like we can select all these, randomize, right? And then you can we can simply select the tree, and we can overall scale it down, okay, to make our life easier. Yeah. And maybe this one bit thinner on our, yes, better. Okay, so this is much smaller than that, so I will just make it zero point 0.7, and then we can basically export also along with it. Same, also B, and I will save it as B. Okay, and do we, don't it have bifurcation? Wait, let me check. uh, we have the stuff on the screen, and we have generation, stand any, which is good. We can split. Yeah, it's not, it was not splitting, so I can spread these two, so we have some proper crown basically. Yeah, so I can save it, export again as a, let's go, I will save it as C. Same thing, we'll select the tree and make it 0.5. Select the main branches and make them, and I will make it shorter also. And there is this gravity which is crazy, and it should be, oh, it's negative. That's fine, but it's okay, we can keep it. And this is, take the trunk, in the displacement there are flares, which is good to have, but I think it is synced, so it doesn't matter. Oh, why is it synced? Okay, cool. So this is C. We can do it again. Like the propagation is there are different way. I really want to do it in PCG. You can make this thing. You can make paint and do it that way. D, and this will be much more smaller. Yeah, this will do. Yeah. And we can take the branches. Okay, so save the integrity, and if we feel we have too many, I'll hide those, so we have just this, and we can play with, a variation. Okay, so this is Cooch. Okay, and lastly, one more as a tiny one. We can name them also like sapling, sprout, and other thing. So we can do that as well. But for easy naming, so we know that it's a sapling, it's an elder, it's a mature or a large, medium, small sapling, something like that. Okay, and for the unique one, we can make them unique or largest, some stuff like that. So we can use the word as well to make it. Okay, so this is for the smallest. I think we did not scale these, which is not by the parent. We could had. And generation we can reduce. And I will just make it larger again a bit. Huge. And this is E1. It's kind of smallest one basically. So this is a placeholder. Definitely we can have much uh, detailed one. So if we want to make it, then we have to spend the whole week on that only. So that's a totally different process to make trees and everything. Right, so this is the tree which we didn't export. Okay, so all good. Okay, so this is basically our chestnut is there. And if I what I will do for now, I will just take the same trees and I will use them as birch. Okay, and then we can later on we will replace those. Okay, so let me get to the desktop. Mesh biome. So here we have our trees. Okay, so what I will do basically, I will copy this, copy and paste it here, and I will call it birch or aspen. Yes. And for now, I will just call it aspen here as well. Okay, I will delete all these extra ones. Should have deleted them before only. This we don't need. Now let's just take them in there. Biome trees, this is we created before, we can make that also. Is aspen, or we can replace that birch with our and chestnut or whichever tree it is, because we found out I forgot to note it down which tree was that, but now wait, let me see if we are. And hello, Rodrigo. Don't worry. Awesome, awesome, Rodrigo. And if you want to be more crazy, you can try Plant Factory also, which I am also trying to play with a lot. And Unreal Quest. That happened actually before also when I exported the trees from Speed Tree. The FBX message crashed the Unreal. So Plant Factory, awesomeness. That wasted our time. Hmm. Okay, let's see this one. Ah, I think we forgot to save the thing, so the mm, things might be gone. Okay, it's here. Plant Factory. So you see, we have chestnut here. Chestnut, right? Carnia. Okay. So it's a wonderful tool. It might look intimidating from the view of it, but don't be, because these are just nodes. If you know how to use nodes, you will eventually reach here. But I really love the amount of control and amount of awesomeness you have in Plant Factory is much better. So if I show you one thing, like even if you don't do anything in here, then we have this age parameter. You can do in the Speed Tree also, but it's much more awesome here. It's totally free. It was bought by Bentley Softwares last year, I believe, and it being free. And I regret why didn't I jump the boat right then and there also. So now I show you the awesomeness. Like imagine if you want to use this, it's actually heavy polygons, and we just saw the Witcher demo, so I don't think it matters. Like the polygons matters to these guys, and each of these have mesh, and we can check how much geometry do we have. I think these are the cutouts basically on the leaf. It have its own drawbacks, but as the things are moving toward the mesh and geometry side, I don't think the geometry is much more is any issue. And imagine we want to use this one. Okay, I will use this one as a chestnut example. Okay, so I will maybe save as let me get the come on. Why? Okay, so I will call it, take the name, and let's save it as, so we don't have to. And yeah, it have much more awesome stuff. Like imagine like I have this file. Okay, I said okay, I want to keep it, and you can there is, you see the star thing, you right click, and you will have variations or yeah, versions, basically favorites basically. So I will just simply click star, um, and when you right click now, we have one variation or a version favorited. This stays in the file. Plant Speed Tree don't have this thing. This is wonderful, because in single file you can keep the variation of the your same model in single file. So what it means, like imagine if I, how to focus this, I forgot. So if we oh, it's Maya controls, so like I hate it. So now if we go to setup and we have age parameter, there is seed also you can do, and you can click random seed here also, which will create a variation, definitely, right? But there is a random seed basically you can get back to also. But what I wanted to showcase here is that I can put 8, and this gonna start shrinking down. So basically, and I can still go in and change some parameter. Like imagine I come here and these branches segment, their length is connected. You see here, and where is the time? If this is there, and you see there is a segment, and the segment going up and bender, and there is length. Okay, and then you see length is here. They have range, so you can play with it here as well. And imagine you still feel like, okay, this is here, and I will go back to the setup and I say, okay, I want to make it 7 year. Okay, you say, okay, this is I would like this version of chestnut, and you can click the star version again. Now the fun part, you right click and you have two versions of this. Okay, you click on this, you click on that. Oh damn, what happened? Oh, we changed some awesomeness now. So it get that bad. We did some settings here, so let's just let me click here. Didn't remember here. Why? It should usually remember all the settings basically. Then it should do that way. But let's try getting back to setup, and I will make the age 10. Okay. And we can delete this variation, and we can again click star. You see, we have smaller, we have larger. Okay. And delete, I will just keep it in this order basically. Large, smaller, and let's make it more small. Let's make it 4. Okay. You see, it's automatically updating all the things in there. So I will make another one. So you see, large, medium, small. Maybe we can go more small. Yeah, so I'll delete this one. So large, medium, small. Let's go crazy. 0.1 after this, if it takes. Okay, and we can play with the settings as well. Again, I don't want to. Otherwise, you have a blender, not that blender. But you can play with the parameter like amount of leaves, but it's super connected. It's a super complicated one, so we'll not touch it. And let's see if we have anything else in there. Usually it should not sprout. I don't know if the tiny ones sprout that much, but in the branches, it's this one, and the segment control length is this one. I'm going to the bender, and if I make it 3, it doesn't do anything. And I take this length. Yeah, it works in there, but technically now we have all of them. Okay, and this actually work very synergy with the view, and we don't have exporters with this, but soon I believe we will have exporters. So I'd love to have a button from here to export. You can export from here, just simply export plant, but I would love to have a button basically simply export all the variations. After doing it, maybe with the flagged variation, it send along all the things with it basically, like substance designer, as you said, Rodrigo. So what you can do now is I can just simply save and save, and now this is the largest one, and I can export. Okay, and it have basically different formats, and I can, where is our Unreal Engine binary of everything is here, and where you want to export it usually asks. So we have same and the name of it. So I will again copy the name from our chestnut. Okay, so it's from A1. So I will just put it here. Okay, so it's SM tree, chestnut, okay, FPS and everything. We don't need to change anything. And base displacement, if there is a shaded displacement, is okay. And materials we don't need. And if anything specific, billboard is also like if there but not required anymore with the crazy stuff they're doing. It already exists. Yeah, we want to replace definitely. Okay, it's exported. Then you click on this second one. You click export and you just put B here. Yes. Click this export. I really want a one. I don't know if there is already one click export for all the variation. If there is, wonderful. But there is, as much as I know for my knowledge, it's not there. One click export all the variation, but there is the bridge. Basically, when you import this file into view, it acknowledge all the variations you have. And there is an add-on for Blender also to import all the variations, which I tested, which works perfectly fine. And but it did not, it have presets and everything, but it did not work exactly as I expected. But it works. It import all the variations of the this thing, because you don't just mark them as the custom preset, you can mark them as species also. So there are like species variations as well. So yeah, so basically inside it have a lot more data than simply just plant, which is crazy. That's why I loved it. I wish they would have made it more easy to use, but they didn't. So let's not blame them either. So I'll make it this one big again and I'll save it. Unless, okay, so let's close this one. We have enough of speed tree today. Oh, see, this is the backup from this, so let's just keep it. Do create a bigger file, but definitely we don't have an issue. So our window content browser 2 trees chestnut. I don't know what is wrong with the speed tree, and it just oh, look at that density and how many polygons. Not that much. It's really good. 70,000 is normal level. I believe we need to pump that up. Okay, so you know the drill. So if we want to paint stuff, we need to get to the foliage, foliage tool. We need foliage tool, or we can have procedural system. And if we need procedural, so we need to go to plugins and you search procedural. I'll search foliage. Not there. Is it in the preferences? Yeah, procedural foliage in the, it's in under experimental, so you can turn it on. So that also helps us doing that, but it goes through the same route of foliage. Yeah. So now we have this in there. So we just drag and drop in here. So we have all the chestnuts, and we make sure except these do not align to normal. This is, these two are okay, and we can work on density, and we can look at density for this is like 0 0.1, 0 0.1, 0 0.1, 0 0.1, all of them. So we can just make it 0 0.1. And yeah, so there are a bunch of more settings which are on it, and the one we can work on is the scale. It's uniform, so you can say 0 0.1 to 1.2. That's like maximum. Okay. I don't want to open anything. Now it is there, and I would suggest to save it. And then foliage is that FT again. It's much easier because this foliage type you can use in landscape shader also. If you can use where we added grass in the landscape, you can use this also, but grass do not have collision, and if you use it there, then you will not have collision as well. So it's better using procedural volume. PCG is also good, but you have to create areas. You can put it on uh, all of the area, or exclude some areas, but I haven't started playing with that much, so I won't experiment with it on the session. So I will just practice it more. Once I'm confident enough, then I will show you guys how to do it. But procedural volumes I'm sure about. Okay, so that we can play with definitely. Okay, so now as you know, you can turn on the thing, and then you can simply start painting. Okay, so we got chestnuts. Seems tiny, although it's the largest one. Maybe our other one was too big. Okay, so we'll just put maybe turn on all of them, and I will put there. Okay, okay, so this way I want to keep clear. Let's try. Yeah, it's big enough, not tiny. It's definitely big. Okay, my system start to cry for some reason. I need to check what's wrong with OBS. Okay, nice smoothing also on these. Love that. The natural light is there. Okay, so the size is there. It's not issue. And what I was going to do, yeah, now I was going to show you procedural volume. Okay, so save all. Now in here we can put an art or another tag also. It's all up to us. So I will put it in there, procedural. And here we can simply come under foliage. So you have foliage actor, right? The grass type, and then foliage spawner. So PFS forest. Simple. And you will see here, once you open it, it will ask for foliage types. You can say okay, and then what foliage type we have. We already have made bunch of foliage types, so I will take chestnut A. I'll take 3, and this all the settings we have already, the density and everything, it just work here as well. I'll take C, and I will take the smaller one. Okay, the E. Just for example, we can add more later on as well. So we have here. Okay, I think we can drag and drop it in here, or you can take a procedure volume. Now if I move it here just to showcase, you can make it infinite also, but you can simply make the bound as well. And in here you can say resimulate, and you got the craziness. Okay, it's definitely made my system slow, so make sure don't overdo it. Yeah, so I think we have in here, so you have density and everything. I think there was this clustering. Wait, let me remember where I saw it. Let's just make it 10 times lesser and just simply, okay, much lesser. So less. It's not updating afterwards. Okay, so let's just go with, does it change it? Yep. So in here, I remember there is settings to it fits foliage, procedure foliage spanner we took. As we take, it's also foliage type. We call it FST. Just not 1A. Okay. So if you open this one, you see you have something similar setting of that. But what we want is this setting. Let's see if our other one have this. We have. Okay. So in here, you define how many uh, times you want to. So it's like number of steps and density and everything else. So let's just try resimulate. Just keep it here. See, it reduced. So we need to change this settings for our all of this thing. So basically what it does, it give you seeds and then you can trees. We have C1. Okay. Oh, come on. What happened? E1 and then you resimulate. See, you have basically craziness here. No, it's not this one. We need to change it in the clustering. Okay, and the second one also, this one is fine. In the clustering, it changed. Okay. Now you'll see, what you see are the seeds, right? You see these spots, basically they have seeds. Those are seeds basically. And then you can basically you can, what, it's really simple setting, nothing much, right? So you can say, okay, so there is these steps, number of seeds of this, and then there is spread, how much spread you want them to be. Okay. So but this one I want more, like if I say 500 and resimulate, so they will start to go apart from, right, you see. So the clusters, basically they start from this seed, this one point, and then you can say how many sub seed you want in there. So this tiny one maybe 3, large one maybe 2, and the chestnut maybe 1. Okay, you don't want too much of those. Okay, and resimulate, you get sub seed. Okay. So similarly now you can, basically spread them across and control the density. Why it is still more is spread large one. Okay, let's see. So now you got these clusters of, wow, there's a floating grass here. Or maybe because there was static mesh which we painted on. You see here, and this we can, decide if we want on static mesh or not. So this just play with these settings on this clustering. It's the same thing but more. And then what is the most thing is shade radius, like how much radius in the shade is there, and then you can tell it like does this grow in the shade or not. Okay, and does it have collision or not. All these settings you can pick, and it also have this setting where you can define which landscape layer should it grow on. And if I'm able to find it, let's just try searching. Yeah, here include landscape layer, so there are like bunch of layers, layer 1 2 3 4. You can say okay, don't grow on dirt, so it will not grow on dirt. Like imagine that this one is growing on dirt, right? So I don't know which one is it, so we say exclude. I don't know which layer it is also. So go to landscape, paint, just a second. This is most, I think, layer 6. Layer 6. Okay. So this is layer 6. We can name it as they have. So you just, I believe you can give, was it capital or small? Was it like this? L capital. Okay. And then I can do this all because we don't want it to grow on. Okay. Just save all now. Now if we go back to the volume, okay, and we resimulate, this will not grow on the rock. This will only grow on the ground here. So this is dirt, this is not rock, this is dirt, so we can exclude that as well. Only grow on grass we can. So basically, like with this you can control like what to grow. And even here, like you see there are slopes, right? You can define that as well, like if you want to grow it on slope or not. It will only grow on top of the edge and not on the slope, which is already doing, which is by default there is setting 45 degrees, I believe, but it's there. But I think we should spread it more simply. So there is spread and there is spread variance. I will just say 2 and use. Does it not work? Why? And in here I will 1000 and 1000. Let's see. Okay, so those go, and this one we do 500 and 500. But we can increase it more if we want to. Okay, so now these are these. This is too too dense. Okay, and this we there is a, if I search shade. Okay, so can grow in shade basically. So basically this tiny ones can grow in shade but larger one cannot. Okay, so for now it is said it cannot grow in shade, so we can increase the radius. So the large ones we know shade, so we know the large one are big, so I will give it large. Which one is this? Not this one, this one is not needed. And this one will make 300. Okay, and then we try to resimulate, and you see we don't have too much of clustering inside each other anymore. Okay. And then we can increase the density now for each one. So this one 0.5 maybe. Let's try. Mm, 0.3 and this one 0.2. We're just going with arbitrary numbers, so we can simply now just assimilate. You see, we have more density, and now if we want clustering more of these, let's just increase the steps. This I can make 5. This I can just go okay, and this we can make it 10. I know there are already a bunch of tutorials and everything is there, but you got a distribution. But this one is much more powerful. Like imagine I want this to be near our thing, so I can just move this volume here, okay, and resimulate, and we got it here. Yeah. And definitely that's why I didn't want it here, because it will grow it here. And now in this method we don't have any exclusion volumes, I believe. So it you know really irritates me, right? So for the background overall forest and everything is wonderful, but foreground I want to control, so I will keep it on the back. Okay, so how to fill in the black blank, to fill in the blank, that was wonderful. So here believe if we have, if we can populate on static mesh or not, so we'll check. Usually in the painting we have, it should have, but let's not double too much. Here see, allow static mesh is there. So if I really scale it like that also, if I take this one, I definitely need to make mountain here rather than on the back. But like if I take this one just as an example and I resimulate, then let's see if it is populating on top of this. On terrain definitely, static mesh not so much. But I hope you got the idea. Like let me undo it, is too big. Okay, and okay, so this is like procedural volumes. Basically, you can put one more step ahead in there, and definitely I will try again. Like PCG, I want to try because we still have to make the river, and this is much further. We need to polish this mountain more, and I believe we can add another layer of mountain here to blend this much better. We can have another mount or stuff like that. Can sculpt another one here, and then we'll have, maybe we replace this mountain with that one, so we can put trees and everything, and then move this a bit back. Okay, and because anyway those are small, and if we need to populate something on top of it, we can use pcg we can without geometry, because player not gonna go there, and we can just simply populate stuff in there. And we definitely need to put some geometry. We'll export this one and subdivide it, make it more beautiful, bring it back. Okay, so yeah, so this is pretty much for the, again I say really tiny topics takes a lot of time, and we'll keep doing it and one step at a time. And next time I'll try to play with pcg, and I will make that river, and I will watch YouTube tutorials also. Like I will be honest, like I'm new to that as well, and I will make a river, and I will maybe populate the trees in there. Okay, and I will see if we can transfer it to 5.6 and see if we can do the new things. But I don't want to get carried away. I will stick to 5.5, and I would say like I should just be simply make all the plants and bring them in by myself, and then populate it here, and then we just focus on our main building, because the environment is, again, landscapes are big topic, there are a lot of technical stuff. So rather than that, I will just focus on this building and making that beautiful. Maybe we'll do the trim so it will make Rodrigo happy. And like we are finally doing some trims. So yeah, so that's I will say is it for today's session. And before ending again, you know the drill. And I saw Milan, you did the timestamps. Thank you very much. If you do for the today's video also and all the previous one, if you find time, if anyone have some time, take 15 minutes to or 30 minutes to put timestamps on the previous live streams. I would really appreciate it. You guys are awesome and keep supporting. And as always, like this is here, share it with your friends who want to improve as environment artists. This is the platform for them. And we have a salary survey. All the artists watching from India, if you have worked somewhere anytime, if you're still working, fill the survey. It is for the artists. So as more responses we get for this is awesome. And we'll make an online tool. We'll do it. Subscribe, share it with the artist friends so we can reach to more people. Here's a Discord server which you all awesome guys get the news from. And in the end, if you want to support me, there's a mentorship, so you can take the mentorship if you can afford. Otherwise, you are awesome. Just keep posting in the Discord and I will keep posting and supporting you guys as well. Okay, so I hope this helps. Let's look at the chat. And Rodrigo, awesomely awesome. Hello smart a, sorry, like I don't know what your real name is, but bro, thank you very much. uh you are most welcome. You can post it in our channel and join the Discord server. Maybe join the bootcamp and make an environment together. So if you have any doubt or anything, you can post in there, and we are always here to help. And the community is awesome, so can we can do it, okay, together. Rodrigo, no. Don't give up. I will let you give up. I'm always here if you need support. So we'll look into your trims also. Like once we starting doing a month thing also, I will show you how you can do it simply, a straightforward way and much simpler way. Like Shampoo sent the files, you can send it once you are in that where that place. You can simply do it. Just you can do one thing for me. You can figure out all the different trims or different trim details are there. Just note it down. And yeah, and then we can look at it in the feedback session. Okay, so yeah, again, thank you very much guys for being here. I really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.